campaign has gone from cutting consumer protections, shredding regulations to let the free market work, ignoring banks and the lenders, next stage. Then they went to talking tough about banks and lenders and greed. Then they actually wanted to reward banks and lenders for their greedy behavior. What's next? Where do they go next? The latest proposal is not only bad for taxpayers, it's bad for homeowners, it's bad for the economy. $300 billion is a lot of money where I come from. And guess what? It can be used for a lot better purposes. And here's the purpose we want to use whatever money available to us is. The only way we get out of this economic crisis, folks, is to rebuild the middle class. The only way the wealthy get wealthy is if the middle class is strong. The only way the poor get help is if the middle class is growing. And the middle class is in trouble now. We're running to restore the middle class America. That's what it's about. That's what we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it easier to do what people help. We're going to change the bankruptcy laws, allow judges, when somebody is forced into bankruptcy, allow judges to be able to say, the amount of money you owe the bank we're reducing by X amount, and we're changing the interest rate. We'll help the banks and help the person stay in their home. We're going to push the Treasury Department. When Barack was President of the United States, he's going to handle this himself. Push the Treasury Department to use the power that they have now to allow them to help those people who are on the cusp. How many of you know people who are sitting there just about one paycheck away from losing that home? How many of you know people who are sitting there going to sleep at night wondering whether or not they're going to be able to keep this home? They're the people who want to help. They're the people who want. We want the Treasury Department to get in there and move. We want them to renegotiate the terms of those mortgages to help people stay in their homes. Ladies and gentlemen, that will also help, quite frankly, the financial institutions. But beyond that, the value of our homes and the economic health of our community, you know as well as I do, are tied to one fundamental thing: jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what all of our plans, from rebuilding our infrastructure, to energy, to education, to tax cuts, to health care, focuses on one thing: jobs, jobs. Keeping jobs in America. Making sure people have the skills to fill the jobs we're going to create. Allowing them to keep their health care from their jobs. Making sure that we buy American when the government buys. Jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going to do it. This isn't magic. This isn't mumbo jumbo. This is how we're going to do it. First of all, we're going to give hard-pressed families, the middle class, a tax break. Our focus is to give them a tax break. It will be real and meaningful. We will cut the taxes, and no one can dispute this. The national press is watching. We cut taxes for 95% of Americans who collect a paycheck. Flat out. John McCain is proposing hundreds of billions of dollars in new tax cuts. $300 billion a year in new tax cuts for corporations and the wealthiest Americans. They're not bad, folks. They're not the one that need the help. The middle class needs the help. Even if it was fair, even if it was fair to give them the tax breaks, even if it was fair, ladies and gentlemen, it's not smart. Ladies and gentlemen, John McCain's tax plan would give the average, I realize this is a little bit on the edge, but it's literally true. It's the best way to demonstrate how out of touch John is. Literally, John's tax plan that he's proposing, the new one, along with the one he wants to keep, which is $135 billion in tax cuts. John's tax cut would give, if you take all the CEOs in the Fortune 500, just pick up Fortune magazine, the 500 largest companies in America. Their CEOs, on average, all 500, would get an average of $700,000 tax cut this year. Now, folks, in my neighborhood, you can spread out $700,000 a long way, giving people a break. And in the process, This is just illustrative. This is illustrative. In the process, get any analyst, get any economist at this great university, get any economist at this college, any college, to tell you whether what I'm about to say is not true. 100 million households would not get a single solitary penny in tax cuts. So folks, instead of giving more money to the banks, to companies that ship jobs overseas, as John McCain proposes, we're going to take those tax breaks that they're now getting and he's proposing and give them to companies that create jobs here in the United States of America. Something I might add the Chinese are doing, the Japanese are doing, a lot of other folks are doing around the world. We're going to invest in America. We're going to make sure that we invest our tax dollars in crumbling roads, falling bridges, highways, sewer systems, the infrastructure of America. And by the way, we're going to do it by investing $60 billion over the next 10 years. And guess what? It will create 2 million new jobs and $50,000 a year. The estimates are here in Missouri will create just that 39,000 new jobs at $50 grand a year. That's how you build a middle class. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get serious about energy. I mean, really serious about energy. Maybe I've just been hanging around too long. When I was a kid, I remember John Kennedy saying, it sounds corny to say it, but it's literal. He said, we're going to go to the moon. He didn't know how we're going to get to the moon, but he understood America. He understood the American spirit. He understood America's grit. He understood America's capability. And he set a firm goal. Well, guess what? We're going to go to energy independence in the United States of America. $150 billion investing in energy, $15 billion a year creating renewable energy, wind, solar, biofuel. You want to move in Missouri? Get your farmers back on the job. Give them something to produce for. Allow them to make some money. Why spend $350 billion a year pouring into the sands of Saudi Arabia, poured into the soil of the Midwest, ladies and gentlemen? Our ability. It's totally within our power. And in the process, the studies show we'll create 5 million new green jobs that cannot be exported. Monk would say this is not rocket science, folks. Fourth, we're going to cut health care costs for families and for businesses. And by the way, I know a lot of Democrats like to beat up on businesses. Businesses are getting killed too, particularly small business people. Their healthcare costs are going up 87% on average. In your state, I'm told it's slightly higher. I don't know that for a fact, but it's a big deal, big number. And folks, right now, there are 730,000 Missourians without any health insurance. And ladies and gentlemen, all of us who have health insurance, what do we worry about? We worry about co-pays and whether or not our employer is going to cut our health care benefits. We're going to have to pay more. Let me tell you something. When you don't have insurance, you go to bed at night staring at that ceiling because you know the cost of everything. You know the cost of if your pregnant wife lying next to you sound asleep has a healthy baby. You know it's thousands and thousands of dollars.